Friends, I'm Joe. That's Tuna.
I'm Tuna. What's
Hey.
up? We're doing it.
We're really doing it, Red Band. Yeah. What's up, guys? This is Tuna and the Sheriff. It's a weird post-Christmas episode of Tuna and the Sheriff. I'm Sheriff Joe Baggs. This is Tuna. We're here to talk some Rams, and we're doing something not standard for our show. Do you care to explain better than what I'm doing right now, Tuna?
Yes. Welcome, everybody. It is noon. I'm assuming everyone is not in traffic in LA because people aren't back from Christmas yet and they're probably going to stay out of town for New Year's. But welcome. Every morning, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, normally we'll just do Rams content. Fridays are usually our preview show. But since we've got the extra day on Monday, and since we're getting close to New Year's, we didn't stream on Christmas. We just wanted to take some time and stream longer. So we're going to go at least an hour today to give us more time to talk about league-wide stuff, some award predictions, talk about just some of the Christmas terrible games that happened, some teams that are not in the playoffs anymore as of yesterday.
Yeah.
And then, some previews for the playoffs, just kind of big picture Ram stuff. And hopefully we get some comments that give us some other talking points as well. So I want to start off this way. I didn't tell Joe about this. We're going to start the stream off this way. I've been practicing. I'm going to see if I can get you to jump off sides. Come on, ready?
Yeah.
Red 18. Red 18. Easy. Check. 52 is the mic. 52 is the mic. Turbo set. All right, good job. Good job, Joe. Way to not jump.
You're absolutely absurd. We have a special guest coming in, by the way, in about 10-ish minutes or so to have some chat with us as well. So familiar face if you are an intaker of Rams content. So we'll have that coming up here in a little bit too.
Sure. Hell yeah, man. I guess first things first. Just do we want to start off with where we currently stand with the playoff seeding?
Yeah, man. Let's take a look here. So we do have obviously our playoff picture. All right, I want to be on screen too. Let's see. Let's get us. What? Oh, what can you see, Tuna?
I see just that, and that's what we're gonna roll with. Let's see. Playoff picture, division leaders. I hate the fact. Yeah, we don't have to explain we'll go through the seedings and stuff when our guest comes on too. But it sucks how tight the West is because winning the division is coinciding with being most likely number one in the NFC. So there's not like a scenario where it's like, oh, can you be 2 through 4 through different scenarios? It's like, nope, it's one or nothing. It's one or wild card. That's it.
It's tough, man, especially being an 11-4 team right now and being third in our own division is so frustrating, man. And it's just one of those situations where it's like, oh my gosh, like we had it too. We had it in our hands, but it's like we're just Paul Walker in the first Fast and the Furious right now. Just be like, dude, we almost had you. But either way, we're getting to the dance. And we're getting to the dance either way. And I don't know, man. I just feel like any of these teams right here that we're looking at on screen, if we have to go to Chicago, go to Philly, go to Carolina, I feel like the Rams can win any of these games, but also those are tough places to play, especially in January, dude. That's what we were trying to avoid. So that's unfortunate biz there, but I don't know, man. That's kind of what we're looking at.
I think least worrisome to travel to, as much as it doesn't make sense, is Seattle. I think just because of the familiarity, just saw what they were able to do up there. You clean up some stuff and you're closing out that game a little better against a really good team. The one I don't want to go to, and I make no qualms about it, is Philly. I don't want to go to Philly again. That's the one I don't want to go to because they haven't. McVay has proven he can't get over the Fangio. Fangio has had his number down the stretch. Stafford has not been his elite self like the closeout games against Philly, and it's a tough place to play. So that's the only one I don't want. I don't want sixth place. I don't want to play Philly. It will give me the most stress. It's not that I'm afraid. It gives me the most stress.
I actually feel the that same way, but about Chicago. That's just it's one that For some reason, I feel
Really?
like that could be a thorn in our side where it's like, God, of all years for Chicago to just show up out of friggin' nowhere, dude. We had to go out there and play at Soldier Field in the playoffs. Like, that could be one of those situations where it's like, man, what an unfortunate series of events there that the Rams could have avoided by just winning one more game. And that's the thing too, is I mean, look at the losses that the Rams had. They're all extremely close games. And two of them are division opponents on a short week. And that's so frustrating that we keep getting divisional games on Thursdays. I hope that stops next year and stuff like that. But that's kind of put us in a tough spot, man. But either way, just I feel good about playing any of these teams though. Green Bay's kind of had our number for a few years, but that I still feel good about that. I mean, that's tough. And you're right. It's not impossible for the Rams to get back into to the top seed here. And yeah, we have some info on how the Rams can avoid going to Chicago or Philadelphia. So we can still do it. I just like it's such a tough situation where it's like I've kind of just accepted my fate, even though it still is possible. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to set myself up for that disappointment, I guess, is where I'm at.
No, you're right. Like, and it's not I think we both feel the same way that I honestly, I don't care what the seed is. Like 7th, 5th, 1st, I don't care.
Yeah.
I just wanted at least one home game in SoFi just because one was robbed last year because of the fires and just for the vibes alone. Like, that's it. I just wanted one home game for vibes. And the path, though, is a little bit difficult. I mean, you kind of control your own destiny. Like, if you don't win the next two, none of this matters. Like, you're going to be a wild card.
True.
If you drop one of these, you're not winning the division. That's the way it is. And then you need a loss from each of these three teams. Seahawks, they got to drop at least one. Niners as well, and then the Bears. Problem is, all three of them in some way, there's a triangle. They all like play each other to some regard. I think perfect scenario is like, I think it's Seattle loses to Carolina, Chicago beats San Francisco, and then San Francisco beats Seattle week 18. So it's like you need a top.
And then Detroit wins in week 18 over Chicago because we need them to lose one as well. So it is like we have like very specific games that we need to happen, and just a little. So that's where my brain's at, is like, hey, look, probably not going to happen. It is realistic. It certainly can, but I'm just in my brain. It's like, you know what? Let's just go ahead. We're a wild card team. Let's just plan for that. And if we happen to stumble into the one, well, then hell yeah. that's kind of where my brain's at.
Yeah, and it's I want to say it's not impossible. Yeah, think back. Was it 2 years ago? Yeah, I don't think it was last season. It was 2 seasons ago. Like, you needed Carolina like to just eke out one win in the rain, and they did it. I think they were just like 2 touchdown underdogs in that game, and they ended up winning a game in the rain, and it immensely helped the Rams out. I can't remember what it was, but I remember specifically Carolina figuring it out and doing it for us. So, hey, could happen again. Carolina seems to love us when they're not playing us.
That's a good point. Yeah, and that's the thing too, is like, I mean, Carolina is still very much holding on to that spot. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only position in the NFC playoff race that has not yet been decided, is who is really going to take that 4 seed. And I know that there's seeding, jumbling that can happen. We're talking about how, 4 different teams can get the 1 seed right now, but that 4 is going to be Carolina or Tampa Bay. And that's the only playoff spot open in the NFC anymore. Everybody else is locked in. Everybody else is bumped out. So that's Carolina. I mean, I put money on them to win that division, so I feel awesome about that. But I just think that the moves that they've been making, I mean, they're headed in the right direction, but they are one of those teams that can take out anybody at any given week, but they can also lose to anybody at any given week. So obviously a tough matchup this week, but hey, we're kind of pulling for them, right?
Absolutely.
And winning this weekend would definitely do wonders for us. And especially because that is a team too that, like, because again, if we get further into tiebreakers and all that stuff, that's a team that we lost to. So the strength of schedule and then the similar opponents and all that stuff, that could really mess us up as well, with Seattle being the opponent this week.
I found it. 2023 season, week 15, Carolina Panthers beat the Atlanta Falcons 9-7.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do remember this.
I think the Falcons were at least in a scenario where they could win their division, so that like they needed to win that game,
Mhm.
and losing like kind of fucked them up, and it helped us immensely with I think seeding, I think squeaking into a wild card spot with 2 weeks left. Um, I got a lot of credit for Bryce Young since you're talking about the Panthers.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was. I think since like someone told me a stat, and I hope I can find it. Since week like 14 or 13 of last year through now, Bryce Young has like 5,000 yards, like over 40 touchdowns, under 15 interceptions. Like he's played well. It's just the record hasn't, like they've been a rebuilding team. But Bryce Young has shown he can win games. Now it's, down the stretch. Can you win your division? And then can you perform in the playoffs? All these teams, like Bears included, I wanted to mention that to you, is they look great now. And it's not to say, oh, they're only regular season good, but things get tighter in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Different guys play at different energy levels. Some, unfortunately, because it is a business, some guys play harder in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It happens in NBA all the time. And just like guys are tighter. You're asking first year playoff guys. Ben Johnson hasn't got it done. Didn't get it done in Detroit. Caleb Williams has never been there. So
yeah, you're absolutely right. I there was a quote, somebody said it like so long ago, and it may have been like something on like video game. I have no idea where it is, but it's like something about playoffs. It's like you get to the playoffs and, cuts are a little sharper, hits are a little bit harder, throws are a little bit tighter, just everything is just ramped up a little bit more. And you're right. When teams don't have that experience, sometimes they're not ready for that. And that's also why I keep saying, like, our season has not started yet. The Rams' best football, I think, is still ahead of them, because I think that when the playoffs do start, it's do or die time. Everybody still knows that heartbreak from last year and what happened in Philadelphia, where it's like we felt like we were just the better football team and we weren't playing, we weren't moving on. And that's also against a team who just beat the butt cheeks off of everybody they faced outside of the Rams in the playoffs last year. So it's like, it's so frustrating as the Rams to see the way that game ended and then see what Philadelphia did the rest of the way. It's like, damn, we felt like we were better than them and they destroyed everybody else, so super frustrating. But it feels like that's when the Rams really will start playing. And you're absolutely right that could be quite a shock for a team like Chicago if Niners come in, an experienced team, Packers, Rams, like these wild card teams right now coming into these houses. I mean, you're right. You're absolutely right. Chicago could be bounced quick, but I think that they are headed. I think Ben Johnson's doing a great job there. I think
they're legit.
For a while.
By no regards am I saying they're not a real team.
Yeah.
Like I threw that out the window about 3 weeks ago. Chicago has earned their wins. Like they are a good team. They're coached really well. And I found that stat. Since getting benched last season, Bryce Young, up to this point, 5,200 yards, 42 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, and a 91.3 passer rating, 10 game winning drives.
Nice. Hell yeah, dude. Bryce Young's dope. I'm a fan. I like him.
Yeah.
I think he's cool. I want to bring up Brett's comment here because I think that we all kind of feel this way. Lions missing makes me so happy, and I won't apologize. Yeah, straight up same, dude. Enjoy it. Enjoy the playoffs from home, Detroit. That's I feel nothing negative about that at all.
Can I bring it up?
Yeah. Whenever you need.
we got around a little bit last night. I threw out it's actually not even an original tweet. It's something I saw earlier in the year. I think someone else even commented damn near the same thing on Twitter. Lions are a Stafford away from being a Super Bowl team.
I think I said this earlier in the year too. Like, only if they had somebody like, I don't know, Matthew Stafford or something. I actually said that this week about the Falcons and their run defense. It's like, oh, if only they had somebody like, I don't know, like a Nate Landman or something. That'd be
dude. 360,000 views. Shared 300. I woke up this morning to a lot of hateful comments.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, the city of Detroit's not happy. They legit like.
But I'll say this too, man. I'm seeing some Lions fans that are starting to get frustrated at Jared Goff. I'm starting to see that. I'm starting to see them being like, "Ooh, maybe he's not the guy that can get this done for us." And whenever we do need him to show up, he's not there, kind of thing. Like I'm starting to see those comments, and it's like, oh, guess who's not just being jerks to Jared Goff? Are we going to start seeing quarterback the Netflix series from 5 years from now? I was like, Dan Campbell didn't even want me. Are we going to start seeing that too? Yeah.
I've seen a few other creators repost part of that clip of of Dan Campbell in the locker room. Jared Goff, you are good enough for Detroit. Like, it's all, you know me. I will take the hate in stride.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I think maybe Tuna's freezing here. I think.
The city of Detroit got me. Am I back?
Oh yeah, you
Am I
might
back?
be back. Let's see. I'm gonna try to.
There we go.
There we go. All right. Yeah. Are you
Anyways,
under
I'm
attack?
gonna yap as if you can still hear me.
Oh, maybe. I don't. What the heck, Tuna? Figure this out, man. Come on. All right. I don't know what. Oh, now he's just disappeared entirely. Just me and you now. Oh man. So yeah, that is absolutely. I'm absolutely with you there, Brett. The Lions missing the playoffs. I feel totally fine about that, man. It's so funny to see the reaction that we're getting from Lions fans about how we are reacting now about them missing the playoffs, because they're getting so angry, dude. Like seeing Rams fans be like, "Ha, screw you, Detroit." They just like they're immediately like, "You don't say that."
Yeah,
they lose. Yeah. It's fun.
It's like what was saying before I got disconnected. I take the L's in stride. Like I love banter back and forth, and I'm like, I try to be as real as possible. Of like, no, like I think both teams won the trade, and I genuinely think that because the culture has shifted up there. But when you have some of the bandwagon fans for Detroit because of recency bias, or maybe ones that were too young to remember Matthew Stafford, they just remember the losses. I'm not taking that revisionist conversation, and I don't even care if Matthew Stafford was playing for like fucking Las Vegas and he's been winning. I'm a Matthew Stafford stan. Like, don't rewrite that history just because your franchise was that bad. You won a few games in spite of that culture. Like, you should be building a statue for Matthew in Detroit. But
I mean, I think that Lions fans now, it's been enough time where I do think that I do think that they have forgotten exactly like who he was and what he was bringing to them and stuff. And then also I think the fact that Jared Goff coming in immediately and playing well was like them kind of just being like, oh, turns out anybody can do this kind of thing. And then it's like, then they kind of, I think now they're starting to realize the way that Matthew Stafford's playing today and the way that Jared Goff's playing, it's like, oh, wait, Jared just needs kind of ideal situation where Matthew Stafford kind of creates the ideal situation. You know what I mean? So
there's levels to this. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I need to fix this for Rams house because I think I gave him the wrong link.
Bro. Bring up Brett's comment here. Since his last one about NFC West teams.
Oh,
little since we're talking about.
Oh, did we lose Tuna again?
It's just my camera cut out. That's weird.
Oh, hi.
Wait, before y'all go, who's your most hated non-NFC West team out of curiosity? Mine is very surprising, and it's for a very petty reason. I hate the Steelers. I can't stand it. I can't stand them. I hate their brand of football. Am I back?
Oh, you're back. What's up?
Did you hear anything I said about the Steelers?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I hate them because of their helmet. Put the logo on the other side. I don't care about the reasons. It's dumb. I hate that tradition.
The other side, or you want it on both sides?
Put it on both sides. Like this one side thing, it's the dumbest thing imaginable. Like, oh, it's our tradition. And I know there's a historical reason for it. I fucking hate it. And I dislike Tomlin's style of football. Like, I used to love him. Dude, this grind to 9-8 every year is so like boring. I hate it.
That's really funny. I'm trying to think. Just hated non-NFC. I feel like that's an easy answer, but I'm trying to. Man, that's tough. I don't really hate a lot of teams, to be honest. Like, I kind of stopped my hatred.
Patriots,
Patriots, I guess, but I mean, I don't know. I guess that's so old now. You know what I mean? Like,
that's fair.
When the Patriots were hateable, it's like that's been so long ago. You know what I mean? So I guess I don't know. I don't think I would say Patriots, but Maybe Raiders. Raiders are up there for me. Saints are definitely up there for me. Saints, I don't know. There's something about the Saints.
It's the fan bases more than anything at certain
Oh,
times.
Philly, dude, for sure.
I don't hate
Philly's
I don't
no,
hate
Philly's the
Philly.
top for me. Absolutely. I hate Philly. I hate their fans. I can't stand their coach. I don't like their quarter. I don't like Philly. Nothing about them. No,
I like
don't
Jalen Hurts.
I don't want to go to the link to watch a game ever. I don't care. Like, screw them.
I'm a Jalen Hurts believer. Like, I actually am.
I'm not.
I see stuff. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because he's short and I like short quarterbacks. Like, I have a soft spot in my heart.
He's not good at football. Is that what you like?
I'm blaming the system, bro. I think he's the fact he's been able to win with their play calling of like there's a TikTok guy that every week, win or loss, he puts a voiceover again over the Eagles, and it's like, oh, let's see what they play called. Inside run the Barkley. Inside run the Barkley. AJ Brown going deep, incomplete punt. Like, that's their offense.
I mean, that's true. I think Jalen Hurts is just Kyler Murray with a better coaching staff and roster around him.
No.
I think they're the same guy. They're such similar players, man. Like, I don't know. And he's bigger and stronger. I mean, but I don't know. Before we were getting to get into awards and stuff, we have somebody hanging out here in this little back room. And we're gonna bring him in here.
You know what happens in the back rooms, in the champagne room?
Nothing.
What's he doing back there? What's he doing back there?
Good. So, if you're a Rams content creator intaker, that was not the way to say that.
Enjoyer. Let's do that.
You make people who make Rams things. You watch them.
I said champagne room, and you got all flustered.
This is the weirdest. This is the worst stream we've had. Yeah.
Go on.
Right. I got this. So this gentleman here, absolute monster in the Rams creator community, and one of the best human beings that you will ever meet in your life, and one of the most hardcore fans too. Rams House, what's up, dude?
What's up, guys? Feel so honored to be here with you. Somehow, I don't know how we all got the memo to wear a black Ram shirt. Like,
oh, this is not.
I think this was meant to be.
Sorry.
That's not a Ram shirt.
This
is
a
black shirt.
This is a ghost shirt.
Well, it's a black shirt. I'll take what we can get here, though. Honored to be on with you guys. Listen to you guys all the time. Obviously, Ram Showcase and take care of that. First and Tuna, great film breakdowns from you, obviously. And yeah, love listening to you guys. So glad to be on here.
Dude, stoked to have you here, man. How are you feeling right now about the Rams heading into the playoffs?
Honestly, my mind is just like, I just want to see another Rams game. It feels like it's been years since we've seen a Rams game, just because it's like Thursday night, that was the last time we played, but we're not even playing until Sunday. We're playing Monday. So honestly, that game that we experienced was like ages ago. I still see people like crazy upset about it. And I'm at the point, like, I've moved on from that game. At this point, I'm just ready to play some more football. And honestly, the biggest thing for me is like, yeah, I love the 1 seed. I'd love that to work out. But the biggest thing for me is like just go into the playoffs with health. And that's what I'm hoping for. Just like we obviously have some guys banged up, like Q Lake, who's coming back here soon, and Devontae Adams and all that. But I just kind of want to go into the playoffs healthy and keep this momentum rolling, because I feel like we can beat anybody, anywhere, kind of like Stafford and McVay's been talking about. So it's just like stay healthy. That's just kind of where my mindset's at.
Heck yeah, I absolutely agree. Actually, this is hilarious. If you're on the mobile version, we can only see like a sliver of the side of your face, just so you know.
It's not the premium version stream.
Somebody said it's Rams House. Well, half of them, and I looked over at the side one. Yeah, it's just like
half of them.
A little portion of
people are if you want to be full in Zoom, I guess scoot over to your right, like I'd say like 6 inches if you're able to.
You know, but in this way, like, it's half of me. The other half of me can be somewhere else. I can be doing other things. I'm fine being half Rams House.
The other half, he's out doing shit.
Yeah, exactly.
You haven't. Yeah, you have to get the premium stream to get the full version of Rams House.
Really, it speaks for itself, honestly.
That's so funny, dude. Oh man.
No, you raise a good point. Like the fact that the last one, we had a super long break in between games, but technically not, because I heard McVay talking the other day about like what their schedule's been. like having Christmas. Like the guys have been off, I would say the same amount ratio-wise if it was just a normal week. Them trying to squeeze in walkthroughs on Wednesday and then now Friday before they head out. How do you feel about going over to Atlanta in prime time? It's not their record is obviously bad, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a Raheem Morris coach team for what that's worth.
Yeah. I think I'd feel like a little bit more nervous if the Rams were coming in rolling off like 8 consecutive wins, like maybe because the Falcons are one of those weird teams where they either can get blown out or they can play a team close. And that's the weird thing with them. It's like some of these games they look competitive and you're like, oh, like this is what the Falcons are supposed to be. This is what their offense is supposed to look like. And then other weeks you're just like, man, I feel so uninspired right now by this team. This is why this team barely has any wins. So I feel confident going into this game just being that the Rams lost in the fashion that they did. And I think like while they're not like buying into the fact that they need the 1 seed to be able to go out and win the Super Bowl, they're aware that like they're still in the hunt to be able to get that. So like win the games that you need to. So I feel confident going into this Falcons game primetime. The fact we just came off of that kind of loss, you had all this time to prepare. You know Raheem Morris, he knows you, like that kind of stuff. I feel pretty good about it, but I'm also like not full on this team is terrible that we're playing like it's going to be easy kind of thing. I just think that like we're in a good spot to be able to get a win here.
Heck yeah!
I wonder how they feel about giving their us their first round pick. Like a loss is double good for the Rams.
Well, that's the thing too. Is like it doesn't really hurt them that much to lose anymore. It's like or help them. You know what I mean? So it's like why wouldn't they come into play? Because also, I don't know if you guys saw that story about the Falcons owner Arthur Blank bringing in Sportology, that outside firm, to just analyze the franchise. So there's an outside firm right now that is like going through everything in the Atlanta Falcons franchise. And with the intentions of figuring out where's the disconnect, what's going wrong here, where do we need to improve, all that stuff. And I mean, this is just modern day stuff now. You know what I mean? Like you get the Immortal Chamber, they get Sportology coming in, like everybody's doing their own stuff right now. And so I'm really curious to see the fact that even if the Falcons win out, they didn't get an improvement over last year. They're still 8-9 coming straight over. So I think that it's very realistic with an outside firm coming in that they could be looking at it and say, hey, you don't have the right head coach in here. And I think that could be a move. So with all that being said, I relate that back to the draft pick saying that they don't have incentive to lose anymore because the draft pick you're talking second round. Yeah. You're splitting hairs when you're talking second round pick, the difference of 4 spots, you know what I mean? So not a big deal there. And then also I think that with Sportology coming in, I think that you have something to play for. I think that everybody in that building now, the coaches, the players, I think everybody is fighting for their jobs right now. I'm fully prepared to see Atlanta kind of have a full overhaul here soon if Sportology and all that stuff finds what they find, which I think is easy to see that Atlanta's just not that great of a franchise.
Dude, I thought Morris was going to be out like 4 weeks ago. Before they had that big win against Tampa, before they Raheem knows how to win over guys and win a locker room. I don't think this year changes my opinion of him as a leader of men. If anything, it kind of enforces it because, dude, even Mike McDaniel down in Miami, somehow they've played some games with some heart. It's very impressive. I thought both of those guys would be fired a month ago. I thought Raheem Morris was a double agent, giving us their pick and then tanking so that way that pick is better and he'd come back and be like, how guys get fired. They're like, I'm going to take the year. I'm just going to go, be a guy to help out on special teams or the secondary. I thought he was going to come back here and try to latch on and get another ring, but I don't know. He's making it through the whole season. Yeah.
I think it's very real that we could see a situation where Shula does get a job and Raheem Morris comes back. I really just don't think that that's impossible. I think it's one of those where Raheem Morris could settle in and say, you know what? Hey, Sean, as long as you're the Rams head coach and you'll take me, I'm here I'll be your DC, dude. I don't think that that's impossible, that we could see him make a return.
Oh, no.
And I would welcome him back with open arms.
So before the Niners did it with Saleh, I actually would argue with you. Because I'm not one that usually assumes guys want to double back. I assume guys want to just make their own route, a la Bieniemy in Kansas City, and look how that went. Where is he now? I do hope Morris comes back, mainly because I think he's more likely to want to push Sean and Les to make a splash in the secondary for next season, if it all works out that way. But that's That's all that.
Yeah.
I feel like, I would not be at all surprised if Raheem Morris came back. That feels like such a Rams move. Like if he's just available, like just why not bring him back? But also like I would love to see Aubrey Pleasant actually get an opportunity to be a defensive coordinator. I would just want to see how that looks and what kind of iteration he had, because he's been around for a while. He left for a little bit. But I like the options that we have. Like if Morris isn't available, if the Falcons keep him for whatever reason and Shula leaves, like I would be totally fine if Pleasant took over just to see.
Head coach.
He kind of reminds me a lot of Raheem Morris, just in the like kind of leader of men, like locker room kind of guy who just gets along with everybody, not even just his position group. And so Rams have options for sure. And I mean, best case scenario, I would want Shula back again, like all of us probably would. But I guess we'll see what ends up happening.
Sorry, guys, I'm trying to fix it. It's not working.
Oh no!
Oh, okay. That's what it.
I was like, what just happened?
That's what you look like on the mobile version, just so you know. But now on the mobile version, they can see the full version of you. So we have to decide which one we want the full version of you on. Which
I left a comment in the chat that we paywalled the other half of you behind a subscription.
Yeah.
So
feel free to make that donation at Sheriff Joe Bags on Venmo.
Hey, bring up Corn Doggy. Hey yo, hold on.
Wait. Hey, Corn Doggy's in.
Let's go. What a picture.
Dude, that shirt is so funny. Or that hoodie, man. I love it.
This merch.
That's so funny. I love it, dude. First of all, how do we get this? Because I absolutely need one of those.
Look how cute he is. Head over to Corn Doggy LOL on his social medias, and then he's got a link in there. He's got a website, t-shirts, hats, and sweaters. I love it, and stickers.
Swag, nice.
Yeah. You're telling me you got the Rampage mascot shirt, and then you got that too. It's like you are winning at life right now.
Tuna gets swag, bro.
He does
get the swag.
Be more like Tuna.
I want to include Rams House now that he's here. We can go through end of season stuff.
Yeah.
Get his opinion. We're gonna start with the big one, our favorite one. Bring this shit up, Joe. Look at this. Look at how much. No, wait, not that one. Not that one. This one.
Okay, you're the one controlling that. So, all right. Yeah, man.
I put a lot of work into this, as you can tell. This took me hours.
I can tell.
Yeah.
MVP race. I would say it's narrowed down to these three men, these floating heads: John Matthew Stafford, Drake May. And Mr. Haley Steinfeld. Numbers. Dak Prescott's obviously not getting it. Jordan Love is out. These are the numbers as they stand currently. Thoughts, Rams House? How do you feel about the MVP race? And make your case for who you think should be this year's MVP. I want to hear it from you.
Well, first off, I just want to say it's hilarious to me how Dak Prescott is upside down, just like out of the race. I don't know why that's hilarious to me. I would definitely give it to Matthew Stafford. I think like the hard part in me is like this year, it's been like a little bit frustrating, the Drake May and Matthew Stafford conversation, in the way some people handle it, because I love Drake May like coming out in the way that he's been able to perform. But there's been so much, like a lot of Patriots fans that have talked about it in a way of, oh, Drake May easily. Like, why are you even talking about Stafford? Like, well, probably because he's playing like the best quarterback in the NFL. I see the conversation be brought up a lot of the times about like, oh, Matthew Stafford has a Puka Nacua and a Devontae Adams and Sean McVay, like who wouldn't succeed in that kind of situation. And like, it's not just like the numbers he's putting up, which is, by the way, incredible. Like 40 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, over 4,000 yards, on his way to like clearly his best season in his entire career. But it's like, if you just watch football and you know what football looks like, good football, you can see the difference between like a Stafford and a May. And like, I think it's a close conversation, but I think Stafford has it. You look at like, is Drake May doing the no look passes 30 yards down the field on a dig route, or doing stuff to move a safety completely out of the play and throw it right back where he was? Is he doing all these different arm angles? Is he elevating the players that he has around him, like when guys get hurt? And that's just where I'm like, I think Stafford, like this is his time. Drake May is going to have his time to be able to do this stuff again, but he is playing clearly the best kind of football. And I think that if you put Drake May in this offense, Drake May would look good as well. But I think that you're not going to see some of these kinds of plays that Matthew Stafford has made. And, I even think back to, obviously, this is a different year, like 2021 in that Super Bowl. You're down, obviously, Robert Woods had been out for a while. You're down Odell. You're down to just Cooper Kupp, Ben Skowronek. You don't even have your first two tight ends on the field.
As a wide receiver.
Ben Skowronek, just like basically giving it to the defensive back there on that one play. And everybody knows it's going to Cooper Kupp. And Matthew Stafford still finds a way to drive down the field. And he's still able to do everything he is to go and win that Super Bowl. And now all these years later, after everybody's panicking about the whole back situation, he's not going to be able to play one entire game. It's going to be Garoppolo time. And he does stuff like this. Like, to me, I feel like Matthew Stafford is the definition of just like an elevator. And he would be my vote, clearly. I know it's people watch and they're like, you got Rams stuff around you. Of course he is. But it's like, it's more than just the numbers. It goes back to the eye test.
We pride ourselves on being unbiased, and I'm going to show that when we get to the offensive player of the year, because I already know I'm going to ruffle some feathers between probably you two and people watching. I already know.
Fascinating.
I want to mention something about the MVP race real quick about the comments about people saying like, well, Stafford's got Devontae and Puka and an incredible line and stuff like that. If we're going to include that into the conversation about what people are working with, what their offensive line looks like, what their weapons are doing, then I personally would put Justin Herbert ahead of Drake May, if that's the conversation. I think that he's doing more with less than Drake May is, if we're going to include that aspect of it. But let's just call it what it is. Matthew Stafford is playing like the best quarterback in the NFL. He is the MVP.
I love that you brought that up. I talked about it like a few days ago. Like Justin Herbert has leaped over Baker Mayfield for like my second favorite quarterback. Just, he has nothing. He has by far one of the worst lines for rushing too that I've seen in a long time. And then he's just out here literally on his back with a broken left hand, mind you.
Crazy.
Like he was stiff arming people with a cast on his hand. Like, dude, you're a football guy. Like, you have to love Justin Herbert the same way I fell in love watching Stafford play when he was in Detroit when I'm coming out of high school in 2009. It's literally the same feeling I watched Justin Herbert. It's like, man, hopefully Harbaugh can turn it around. But my thing with Stafford that doesn't get preached enough or enough credit is that elevator aspect. Like, hey, man, Puka goes down. Cool. I'm going to throw 3 touchdowns to Devontae Adams. Watching the checks at the line when he doesn't like something makes a real aggressive audible. And then all of a sudden, Kyron's running for 10 yards. And it comes down to what Stafford can do, like you talked about in the Super Bowl. If you want a game winner, a playoff winner, you're going to need a quarterback who, in one drive, at some point in that game, I need you to just be the best player and just go win the game. Fuck the scheme. Fuck all the stuff we do. Fuck spreading the ball around. Can you go win the game? And he will spam Puka Nacua, like, outside of context of their offense. Like, fuck it, I'm going to throw it up over here, and my guy's going to get it. That's the gunslinger mentality, and it's working out for him.
Yeah, it's it just goes back to, again, when I talk about like the eye test of it. It's like I have to, like, Drake May is playing absolutely phenomenal, and like anytime I get a chance to watch him, I'm beyond impressed. And
really
like
good.
You can make a good argument of like, he may not have as many weapons as Stafford does, but it's just the full package with Matthew Stafford, going from where he's looking to look people off, the arm angles and all that kind of stuff. As you talked about the checks and all the things, him tearing up a defense that was supposedly the best defense in the NFL on primetime without Devontae Adams out there, and still putting up like 450 yards through the air, when even like that first half
on a short week,
mainly
on a short week, facing the Lions, and then to see the Lions were a playoff team. But
it's just
they're not. They're out.
It's clear.
Throwing strays any chance. Hey, I wore this shirt so that way the Detroit haters would not be mad. Like, I'm a fan. Look, I'm supporting.
Logo on him.
Yeah, don't worry about the score of that game. Like, I'm supporting. Come on.
Yeah. It's I'm happy though, because like there's, you still have those people that aren't giving Stafford his credit, and that's always going to be a thing. But I feel like this year in particular, he's been in the conversation more, and people are like beginning, the outside of Rams fan base people are beginning to realize just how good he is. And it's like McVay's talked about it this year, where he gets questions all the time about like, what's it like seeing Stafford play at this level? Like what's contributing to it? And he's like, he's always played at this level. The numbers don't always reflect it, but he's been doing this stuff. So just because like the numbers don't reflect it doesn't mean that's not the case. I would say like Stafford has gotten a lot better at just taking care of the football, and like he's being aggressively smart, because it's not like he's just checking it down all the time, but he's not making that play every game where you're like, oh gosh, like why do you throw it there, and like right into the defender's hands, where we kind of saw that the first few years. But yeah, I just feel like it's really fun to be able to see him starting to get a little bit more of that recognition, even if you still have those people out there that are like, well, Stafford's only playing well just because he has McVay and great weapons. It's like he's actually beginning to get that respect that he deserves finally, I feel like.
Controlled aggression. Controlled aggression.
I always say better lucky than good, but when you are playing really good and you're one of the best, you do get a lot of luck your way. Like he's had some tips, some deflections go his way. That only happens when you're really good. Like the Seahawks 2-point conversion, for however we feel about it, that only happens because you're a really good team. Like you get the bounces your way. So it's settled. Are we, you know, the AP voters are waiting on us three to give our decision, obviously. So,
I mean, we made our decision weeks ago. MVP.
Yeah, I have a video from week 5 that says something about Stafford MVP.
I mean, you put money on it, so like
I did in what, March, I think.
Yeah.
Wait, did you?
Yeah, let me see when the date I was.
Holy shit! I need to know what that payout is. I need to know what that payout is.
It's not a lot because I only put like $3 on it, but it was a good odds. So let me see.
Yeah, the last thing I'll say about that, the whole weapons conversation, it's frustrating because it's never been that conversation in past years, and I think a little bit of it is what you talked about, of a lot of people have not paid attention to Stafford for whatever reason, and so now this is their first year because he's getting a little bit more publicity, and I do emphasize a little bit more because he really hasn't gotten as much as other MVP caliber guys are. To where they're like, it's a shock, it must be a fluke, I've never heard this before, so it's a little bit of bias on their end from what they have not perceived, mixed with, I don't know, in past seasons, other guys that have utilized their elite weapons getting knocked for that. I don't remember Tom Brady with Randy Moss being like, oh, you can't give him MVP, he's got Randy Moss, or Aaron Rodgers having Devontae Adams winning MVPs multiple years. I don't remember that being a conversation, but for some reason it is with him. And the last bit I'll say to that is, if you are going to have those weapons, fine, that's true. Then you better be head and shoulders better than everyone else in the field. Look at the numbers. Yep. Yeah. He's doing it. So
it was May 4th at 6:44 p.m. that I put money on Stafford to win MVP at plus 4,000. I also put money on Devontae Adams leading the league in receiving touchdowns, so that one's looking good, especially if he plays any more games. I don't know. And then we see I had him at plus 4,000 is when I placed it. He's now he's minus 400. So,
wow.
And Drake May plus 330. Yeah, man, it was one of those weird ones where it was like, I don't know, man, it just feels like it happened, and then
I wish I did that. I wish I would have put at least a dub on that. That's crazy. Since this is kind of not very controversial, I do want to get to the controversial one. I want to hear your guys' opinions. We got offensive player of the year. I want to debate you guys. The leading candidates by way of the betting odds. I forgot where I got them from. I think it was. Forgot where I got it from. FanDuel maybe. JSN, Puka Nacua, James Cook, Jonathan Taylor, and Christian McCaffrey. You got 2 wide receivers, 3 running backs. This traditionally usually is sometimes reserved for the non-quarterbacks since MVP's become a quarterback award. Start with you, Joe. I want to hear what you think out of what you're seeing from these numbers. Who takes it? And if the season ended right now, who are you giving it to?
Yeah, I feel like I know where you're going to go with this, and that's fine. I think that you can defend any 5 of these with reasonable points, including our division rivals. I think that you can pick out those guys as well and give legitimate points. I trying to be as least biased as I can. I give it to Puka Nacua because he is unstoppable, and every other player on this screen right now has shown the ability to be stopped and in different capacities. Where Puka Nacua too, even it seems like as the season goes on, everybody else is getting tired, more exhausted, more beat up, and he's just getting stronger, it seems. So I just think that the trajectory that he's at right now, and not even just in season, but career wise as well, we've never seen anybody play the wide receiver position like he's playing it right now. So soon into his career, year 3, and he is already notably one of the best in the NFL. You can put him wherever you need to, whether you want to say top 10, top 5, top 3, top 1, doesn't matter to me. He's one of the best in the NFL on any given week. He's probably the best player on the football field every time he's on it. And I mean, look at what he's doing out there, man. I mean, he's absolutely unstoppable. You know where the ball's going, you still can't stop it. I think that, we're getting a little bit spoiled by watching him because we see him go off for 222 and it's like, oh yeah, Puka was Puka. That's cool. That's just what he does, right?
It's a shock.
We just accept it. We're like, oh yeah, Puka had 222 and 2 touchdowns. Like, duh, he did that. Like, he's Puka Nacua. So it's like one of those, man, that when that's the expectation, when somebody's incredible game, when somebody's best game of their life is just a day at the office, that's why I give it to Puka Nacua, because he is that guy. And all these other guys can have a game where you get 40 yards and you're like, yeah, that makes sense. If Puka has 40 yards, you're like, wow, what happened?
That's a good point.
Comment. That might be comment of the year. The timing.
That's
bravo.
Very good.
You know what he's doing there.
Solid job, bro. That was very good.
Tip of the cap. Yeah, man, the crazy thing is, like Joe said, you look around like at these candidates, I feel like you can really make a strong argument for all of them. Jonathan Taylor, I feel like has really cooled off for me, where I'm not as strong into that one. But yeah, like I
was just gonna say this. Holy crap!
Yeah, I was looking at that.
JSN's
all right.
On the ground is crazy.
You know what? I don't like any of you guys.
You're breaking records over here in rushing yards as a wide receiver, and we're not even talking about it.
I work so hard. I slave over a hot stove.
MVP, dude. That's
all day for you guys to do this. Let Rams House talk. Who do you got, Rams House? I'm sick and tired of you.
Yeah. Oh man. So to me, it's clearly between these, like Smith and Jigba, Puka Nacua, and Christian McCaffrey. And I think an argument that you can make with all of these guys, but specifically with Njigba and McCaffrey, is if you take those two out of the offense, what would the offense look like? Like, these guys are almost the identity of the offense, where if you take JSN out of that Seahawks offense, if you take McCaffrey out of the 49ers offense, they would be miles worse, like a lot worse. And if you take Puka Nacua out of the Rams offense, it would be a lot worse too. But like, is it as big of a hit? Because like, that's also a credit to the weapons that we have. But like, we've been living in 13 personnel. We've been using guys like Kanate Mumfield, obviously Devontae Adams, Kyron Williams. So I think that kind of speaks to how complete the teams are. And for the Rams, like, probably be more of a complete offense there, to where, yeah, if you missed Puka Nacua, you would miss him terribly, but you have other options and you have good coaching. And so that's kind of where I'm stuck with this conversation, because Puka Nacua, I think, is clearly the best receiver in football and most complete in every single area. And I mean, you can make an argument for other people who maybe are more crisp at running routes, but overall, I think he's most complete receiver in football. But I'm just like, how do we define an offensive player of the year? Because I truly think if you take JSN out of that offense or McCaffrey out of that offense, it would just be completely different. But then are we just talking about situations at this point? So that's kind of where I'm stuck here. And I'm just trying to, like, how do we define offensive player of the year?
The way I look at it, I know everyone, there's not like one definition, and you're kind of alluding to it with taking him out of there, is how much of an impact is there? And it's the same with the MVP, but we've already gone down that path. I look at it not so much as taking someone out, but as a force multiplier. One, do they make the rest of the offense better? Does it elevate it? And with the game on the line, or like in spurts, how many times have you seen this player and you're watching them on Sunday and you're like, it doesn't matter who's on defense. Like, you're not stopping this guy. And for me, that comes down to two guys. I've watched more of Seattle than I let people allude to. Obviously, I feel strongly about Puka. Puka has that element. That's like, dude, no one can stop him. Like he's running through tackles like a running back. James Cook and Jonathan Taylor, I'm going to take off that table just because of a little bit of recency bias for Jonathan Taylor. Colts have been pretty bad. They've had terrible luck. I feel bad for them, but it is what it is. 19 touchdowns total is nothing to scoff at for Jonathan Taylor. James Cook is the rushing leader. I package him with Josh Allen in that rushing attack. Like it's hard for me. It's the same thing with like Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. It's like dual threat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm torn between JSN and Christian McCaffrey. And I genuinely lean towards Christian McCaffrey. And here's my argument for him. Look at those fucking receptions. 92 receptions. He has more than some people's starting wide receivers. And on top of that, you know what he's averaging per catch?
What's that?
9.2 yards per catch.
Jeez.
He has almost 2,000 yards split evenly down the middle, 16 total touchdowns and 0 lost fumbles. I hate that I'm glazing a Niners player. I mean, dude, like he's quietly all season kept them afloat without a starting quarterback for like a month or so. I'm sorry, man. Like I genuinely think Christian McCaffrey deserves like serious consideration for this. Just based on the receiving game alone. Like he's literally carried that team on his back.
Yeah, talk about elevating those around you. He's the reason that Brock Purdy's a good quarterback. So, yeah, I agree.
I knew you were going to fucking say that.
That's where it's just hard, though, because that, like, it's hard because you have to look at the situations that these players are in and for context of it. But then it's like sometimes I feel like I get too involved in the situation because, like, again, without McCaffrey, that offense is completely different. And I'm surprised he's been able to stay healthy all the weeks that he has, just with the sheer volume that they use him at.
Right.
But it's just like, that's where I just get stuck because, I don't know, you take those guys out of the offense and they're just completely different. And that's where I'm like, how do you define an offensive player of the year? Because I think you can say all these guys in top moments when their team needs them steps up. I would honestly lean towards Puka Nacua. In terms of in a clutch moment, you need to make a play. Everybody knows where the ball is going. And Puka still somehow finds ways to get catches. How many fourth down conversions has he had? How many times have they been in those scenarios where like, man, we need a play. And you just throw it to Puka. JSN, I feel like he's put up crazy volume. And especially like the first half of the year, he was just going crazy, especially on those deep plays. But how much have I seen him consistently be like they need a big play. JSN, step up. Like consistently, like we see with Puka Nacua. Christian McCaffrey, just based off the position he plays, he can turn any kind of play into a big play and be that kind of momentum thing. But it's hard when you change positions. You're looking at a wide receiver and a running back. And so it's such a tough conversation for me, but I really don't think it would be surprising at all to say that Puka Nacua, by the time that regular season is over, is leading the league in yards. And like, that's just great because he missed a game. And JSN was off to that crazy start. And then Puka's all of a sudden like right on his heels. So like, it's just for me, I just get caught up on like, how do you define an offensive player of the year? And that's just where I keep getting stuck.
That's totally fair. And I think that the MVP conversation, when like, how do you define MVP, most valuable player? How do you define that? Is it just the most statistically relevant quarterback in the league, which kind of feels like it's become, you know what I mean? But that's where I kind of feel like it's one of those where if you take that person out of that team, that their value drops the most, you know, most valuable players. So and that's how I feel about Stafford, the way that he's been able to control this year. I mean, if I don't think we would have had a bad year with Garoppolo, but I don't think it would be nearly as good as it was. You know what I mean? So I think that kind of difference there. Or offensive player of the year, I do feel like is a little bit more statistical heavy for myself, at least. So if Puka Nacua ends the year leading the league in receptions and receiving yards, and probably, I mean, he's what right now? He is tied for 8th in touchdowns. I mean, I would give it to him if we're going statistical heavy, which I do think that these awards, I steer them that way more so than MVP. MVP, I do have that energy of like, well, how do you define it? I think it's the person who just means the most to their team in that season.
Well, this is like, go ahead.
I'm looking at So I want to go through the top 10 list of receptions, not to make my case more, but like I've been thinking about it since I brought it up with Christian McCaffrey. The only people that have more catches than Christian McCaffrey: Puka, Jamar Chase, Trey McBride, Amon-Ra, and JSN. That's it.
That's crazy.
He has more receptions than Chris Olave, George Pickens, Kyle Pitts, Zay Flowers, Diggs, Pittman, Jettas, CeeDee Lamb. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
You definitely make a good case for him. I'm kind of curious if you were just starting a team from scratch and you could pick from these three players. Let's just say they're all the same age, all the same injury history and all of that. Like, who would you pick? And I feel like that goes towards the, like, how would you want to build your team? Like,
who's
you
the
can build your
coach
teams in different ways.
I'm more of a scheme, because like just raw, like in a fantasy situation where I'm the head coach, I'm not smart enough to scheme up stuff for Puka Nacua, how McVay does. I would probably go JSN from just a pure wide receiver standpoint, like traditional sense. Christian McCaffrey, the age worries me, the injury history. Puka is on another team. I think he would be very good, very, very good. I don't think he's number one elite outside of LA. Like, that's my hot take.
I would say, he is, honestly. I would say like maybe production wouldn't be matched completely with Puka like on another team, but I think he would still be like a dominant receiver. But also like the connection with Stafford is insane, and like the way they've gotten on the same page, the way Stafford throws it to areas to tell Puka like where to turn around and run upfield and all of that is certainly there. But I don't know. I see that conversation a lot about like Puka being schemed up. Like a lot of people use that as like I guess a knock for him on how he's not like a great receiver, how McVay like needs to scheme him open. And while I don't think he's like the best wide receiver in the NFL when it comes to just pure route running, and like, because I would say Devontae Adams is a better route runner than Puka is, I still think he gets a little bit like too much flack for people saying like he's not a great route runner. Even people will say all the time like he's not a great outside receiver, but we've seen this year many times like his double moves and the ways he's able to get up. Like, it's not the 40-yard kind of dash speed that he had. It's like the game speed is crazy. And
football speed,
football speed. That's the word for it. So I don't know. I feel like that. I'm not trying to like knock you out all, Tuna, but I feel like a lot of people say that about Puka, like he needs to be schemed open, or like, I don't know. Like, where are you guys at?
I think that part's dumb. That's an argument for people who I'm gonna say it, who don't know ball that much, because you're watering down McVay's system to just like, oh yeah, he just tells them how to get open. He just puts them there. No, like damn near every route that every receiver runs on every play is a choice route, is an option route. Because if the defense shifts out of position, goes to a different location, it switches to man versus zone, those receivers have to know exactly what to do, like at all times. Like gear down, sit in this zone, slow down so that we don't run into linebacker, speed up to get past into the next window. Like, they always have to be ready for Stafford to throw the ball even when they don't think they're open.
Even if he's not even looking at you, the ball might be coming, man. You never know.
Exactly. No, in McVay's system, you have to know the offense really well. Like, look at Terrence Ferguson didn't get play time until the second half of the season because he just wasn't ready. Puka showed up week 1 of his rookie year, and they were just like, I can't keep him off the field. Like, he's just fucking good, man.
Yeah. Yep. It's a good conversation though. Like, that's incredibly close, especially between those three that we mentioned. And it just goes back to how you define it.
That's just it. I think that either any three of those could get it, and you would like the response is just like, yeah, that's like, and that's
no
it. Like, any of them could, you know what I mean? Like, it almost would make sense to give them like, it's like, you know what, you guys all killed it. You guys all, like, but I know one will, and that is the way it should be. But it is one of those situations where no matter who gets it, it's like, yeah, they were deserving because all three of them are deserving. So it makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll settle a 3-way tie this way. And we'll pin it up to the NFL to do this. We're going to put the award in a room. We're going to put those 3 guys in the room and make it out of there. Whoever, fight over it. Fight to the death.
Yeah.
JSN's out.
I was going to say. He'd just be trying to outrun everybody in the room. Just like,
I think McCaffrey wins because Puka would like try to rip his face off or something, and it's like a Terminator. You're like, no! It turns out he is bionic. Like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's a good. I think it goes back to what you said. Like, whoever wins this, Rams fans shouldn't be like Puka got snubbed or like Puka deserved. It's not like there's no clear, oh, this is the guy, like clearly.
Yeah.
I'd be fine if any of these guys won.
Yeah.
Speaking of it being clearly a guy, there's another one.
Yes.
Yeah. We're gonna change the defensive player of the year. But last thing I'll say is I will not fall to recency bias if they give it to JSN because he's slowed down. I'm not eliminating his body of work. His season's been incredible.
Yeah, that's true.
So where there is a debate for offensive player of the year, we're going to take a small intermission by way of looking at the defensive player of the year. I don't know if you guys are going to like this graphic I have, but I think there's no question who it is.
It's easy, man. This is easy. Okay. Well, we made it weird. That's good.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're defensive player of the year. I'm not hearing any other argument. If you have a case, I'm willing to hear it, but look at this. Look at this.
Dig 'em.
I can't argue with this. I wouldn't even want to try to argue with this.
He's the defensive player of the year. I don't know. He's just, he's on an absolute tear right now. Nobody can block him. I mean, yeah, he's defensive player of the year. As long as Aaron Donald does not exist, this is your strongest, most athletically insane defensive player in the league right now. So yeah, he's showing off. And
I'm frustrated that he plays in Cleveland. Like I'm frustrated genuinely he plays in Cleveland. He had his opportunity to get out. He backed down from in the offseason and he opted for the money and he's locked in there for the next 5 to 6 years.
He lied because it was always about the money.
I was gonna say that was the most confusing part about when he's like, no, it's not about the money. Like I just want to win. And then I guess if you get shown a check that big, you're like,
I look at it this way, man. I love football. I love Los Angeles Rams. The 49ers knocked at my door and be like, hey, we need you to cover this team, but you gotta be a Niners fan. And they were giving me $60 million. I'm gonna lie my ass off and be like, yeah, it was always about the money. Like that's a lot of money to change how you feel about stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot.
Money can definitely sway my opinions, that's for sure. Just saying.
Yeah. It's weird though, because I feel like there would have been another team that would be willing to give up that much. Maybe I'm wrong, but like Myles Garrett is that good where it's like, I guess you couldn't go to maybe like a true contender and get that much because that's like almost a quarterback contract on there. But I'm just happy he didn't go to the Eagles. I was really hoping he wouldn't go to the Eagles because like I like Myles Garrett and like I don't really want you on the Eagles right now.
All right, I'll take that down for you. Sorry. We do have other stuff. If we move on from that. We do have other ones. I don't know which direction you want to go, Joe. If we want to touch all of them, or I'll let Rams House pick. I don't care.
Yeah, Rams House.
Ooh. So this is just going to be across like the whole NFL, not just Rams, right? Like for a breakout player, most disappointing,
and for the last two, most disappointing or most surprising. It doesn't have to be a player. It could be a team. It could be a moment. It could be a game. Be a coach, whatever you want.
Both, by the way. I'm going to give NFL and I'm going to give Rams, just so you guys are aware.
Yeah, that's I kind of like that actually. Yeah, let's start with the coach of the year. I want to start with there for sure, just because like this is kind of similar to the offensive player of the year conversation, where you can make an argument for a bunch of different guys here. For me, I think you can make a strong argument for Kyle Shanahan. Unfortunately, just with all the injuries that they've had, like they have been completely depleted. And the fact that they're still in the conversation for the 1 seed. But I also look at it and I'm like, like easy strengths of schedule. They've had a lot of teams where, you should be able to win those games. But a similar conversation with like easier kind of schedule, I would give it to Mike Vrabel and the Patriots. Like that's where I'd go for coach of the year, just because you look at where they were. I don't even remember where their record was last year. Were they like 5-6 wins, somewhere around there?
Yeah.
And I talked about it, like I like Drake May, and when the Rams played him last year, I was actually really impressed with what he's able to do, especially against some of the exotic looks we brought against him. So like you have a good quarterback there, but there's still other parts of the roster that needed work. And the fact that he's turned it around this fast, I think for me, I'd give it to Mike Vrabel, and that's just kind of where I stand. But I can see the arguments for like Liam Cohen in Jacksonville. I can see the arguments for Kyle Shanahan, but I would go to Mike Vrabel just because of how dramatic of a turnaround it was. And it's like you didn't know what you were going to get there. You thought I thought it would be a surprise team, but I didn't think they'd get to this many wins, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, fair enough, man. That's a great pick. Vrabel, obviously, I mean, that culture shift of like it bringing in like that Belichick mentality, but with like modern energy to it is like, it's like that's unfair, man. And then they also have an incredible quarterback who's playing super, super well at just 23 years old. I mean, he's going to be a very good quarterback for a really long time in this league in Drake May. So I mean, for Patriots fans, first of all, you selfish God. God. Anyway, my coach of the year, though, I do give it to Liam Cohen myself. I think the way that he's kind of come in and just him and Gladstone, man, I called it out earlier before the year started. It was just one of those teams that I kind of felt like it was like they're going to be better than you think, man. Like Liam Cohen, Gladstone coming in is like that's a whole vibe change. It's a whole culture change. So for myself, I would go Liam Cohen. I just think that that situation's so perfect. The way that Trevor Lawrence is playing right now I think that that's all the evidence you need, man. Trevor Lawrence has been one of those very divisive players. I've always been a big fan of him ever since. I mean, I saw a video of him playing in high school and was like, damn, this kid in high school is playing this well, man. And it was like, hell yeah, this is great. So I've been following the hell out of his career, man. It's cool to see him playing really, really awesome football under Liam Cohen.
I think mine's a little surprising. I'm gonna preface it by saying, because there's 3 different situations where it's like first year head coach, going to be playoffs, looking really good. Both of you guys nailed one: Vrabel, Liam Cohen, and then Ben Johnson in Chicago. If I had to give a pecking order of those, I'm going Cohen, then Vrabel, then Ben Johnson, just based on what they're working with. I want to pick Dave Canales in Carolina. So I have a lot of reasons. Second year, I hate that I'm using stuff from last year, but it's relevant. It bleeds into this year. Your former first overall pick quarterback gets benched week 8 of last year. Never heard drama, never heard bullshit, never heard the team falling apart even last year. Carried into this year where you're still uncertain. You get blown out 40-9 halfway through your season just for the team to stay together through ups and downs, win, loss, and to finish out the season beating the Rams, beating Tampa Bay, being first place in the division, have Bryce Young playing really good football as a small quarterback. If they win out these last 2 games, I would love to see Canales get serious contention. That's a playoff team. That's a very scary wild card team who's going to have at least one home game. I wouldn't be surprised if they won a wild card game at all because of how like tight knit that team feels, and just based on ownership, man. I think Dave Canales has done a wonderful job. Yeah, shout out to him.
Well, their odds are that they're hosting us, so I disagree.
You see what I'm doing? I'm doing the McVay.
Yeah,
you gotta pump them up.
I'll say this just to jump in for a second on a comment is if we play Carolina in the playoffs, 45-7, I think we win.
Yeah, I do feel like it'll be one of those games where it's like, oh, so this is what should have happened all those weeks ago. But it's like, oddly enough, in my brain, it makes so much sense if the Panthers played the Eagles in the first round, however that would happen. I totally see the Panthers pulling that off. It just like feels so real in my head. I could see them maybe surprising the Bears, but like how likely are those matchups going to happen? I don't know. For me, I think that's a good pull there. Like somebody that doesn't get talked about enough with Canales and what he's been able to do in that situation. He doesn't have a ton to work with either. Like their roster isn't at the point where like, oh, next year they're Super Bowl contenders. But the part for me where I'm like, I'm not sure on that one is they feel like a little bit inconsistent. And that's just kind of been the vibe of this year for me with them. I mean, they play really well at home. For me to be sold on that is like what you said. Like if they finish the year winning out, if they win a playoff game and do that, then I'm like, okay, I can see that. Yeah. For me, they've been so up and down and hot and cold where I'm like, it's impressive what he's been able to do, but it's like, it's hard to make an argument for that. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it totally does. Mine is contingent on you got to finish out strong. I think that matters a lot. The one that I'm like, I don't want to hear anything about, and this is where I'm counter to the Christian McCaffrey stuff. I don't want to hear a fucking peep about Kyle Shanahan. I'm really this is the same shit as you see in Cleveland with what's his name. God, I can't think of his name now. Stefanski. These are self-inflicted wounds. Like you can't pull the. I don't want to get political, but somebody, you take something and you break it, and then you kind of patch it up a little bit, and you're like, look, I made things better. This Niners like team, the injury stuff, the wide receiver drama year after year, like this is your organization. Like this isn't like your second year where it's like, man, I inherited this shit. These are all your guys, you and John Lynch. The constant injuries, I don't know what you're doing in that training staff, or you're just pushing guys too hard from rumors you hear around the league, but I'm not doing that. That's a Stefanski vote for the injury stuff. You got to give it to someone else. I'm not playing that.
Can I give my Rams coach of the year?
Yeah. Yeah.
Give me my boy Ryan Wendell, offensive line coach. Absolutely crushing it. Those boys are on fire. Brick walls, dude.
Yeah.
No matter who it is, too. Backups come in. Everybody's a brick wall. I absolutely love that. So give me Wendell. G Money's a good underrated vote there, too.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah. The crazy thing is, I thought you were definitely gonna go Aubrey Pleasant. Like I was almost 1,000% sure that's where you're going, and I was like, I know, I'm gonna go Ryan Wendell, and then you said, I was like, okay, I guess we'll switch someone else. But yeah, I would go. G Money is a good one. Honestly, actually, I'm gonna switch it to Coach Yarbs. Just love Coach, his energy, the culture, the consistency he's able to bring out of that receiver core. Just all the different guys he's been able to work with. I feel like he's one of those like key culture kind of guys. And people are going to look at it and say, like, you have Puka and Devontae, like, how hard would it be to coach them? And it's like, I mean, he's done this for years. And it's just like, that is a culture guy, the definition of it. So I'm going to go Yarbs, actually.
All players like to be coached. They want coached.
I love Yarbs. Like, you can point at, look at how many times an all-pro goes to a somewhat loaded team, and they just don't perform and they let up. Like that happens all the time. Like it's not an immediate success. Like you have to have a team and a coaching staff that can do it. I want to give mine to Scott Huff, the tight ends coach. Higbee in and out, like getting production out of Higbee, who's like got a cartwheel for a second leg at this point in his career, to get all tight ends, all four of your tight ends to be productive and a legitimate threat on any given week. And to come into a 2025 season and running 13 personnel, like running goal line down the field in one of the biggest games of the year. Yeah. Dog. Like, don't laugh, Joe. Like, if I booted up Madden right now and picked goal line, it's that same fucking formation.
You're right, man.
They're running goal line from the 35-yard line all the way to the red zone. That's, I mean, they're dogs. They're always ready. Yeah. Like, really impressive. So I take Scott Huff.
Nice. Those are a good pick. I like it.
Yeah.
I felt like
glad you shout out Wendy though.
You.
I feel like we all did a great job, guys. We should all pat ourselves on the back.
Gold star for us.
Well done, guys. Well done, everybody.
Yes.
Next one. Let's start Rams this time. Rams breakout player. Since that'll be a little bit easier to pick. Do you have anyone, Joe, that like not even like superstar, but just maybe starting, playing better, doing good things?
Yeah, for my breakout player, I'll just go with Emmanuel Forbes Jr. Coming over, obviously, last year, middle of the season, wasn't really doing a whole lot as far as, any action, stuff like that. And then all offseason, we heard from McVay. He's like, dude, this dude's awesome, And then, so I heard it all offseason, and that was one of those scary position groups coming into the year. It was like, we didn't add anybody. We just came in with our same dudes. Everybody's nervous about it. And then Forbes is, he's way up there on best corners of the year, and not like top three, anything like that. But he's shown up in a way that I think was very unexpected for at least myself.
Sustainable
to see somebody be able to take on most teams' number one and hold his own. I mean, I'll take it. So give me Emmanuel Forbes Jr.
The 5 pass breakups against the Bucs and the interception that he had, like on Sunday Night Football, that was one of the best performances I've seen from a cornerback in a while, not just on the Rams. So it's cool because it feels like the biggest thing with him is like confidence, and that's what's led to him playing so well, is confidence in people actually believing in him, and also being in a situation that's helpful for him because he was drafted to play like press man with the Commanders, which is like not at all what he's like more of that kind of zone guy. So yeah, definitely that's a good pick. I'll swing it over though to you, Tuna, for your breakout.
I thought I had it locked in, and then now seeing the comments, like with my ADHD brain, I just forgot about some guys, like out of sight, out of mind. Yeah. Like you can go Nate Landman just because he's been a revelation. You can go, I don't want to say Puna because it's not like it was a surprise. That's what he was brought here for.
Yeah,
You can
that's how
go
I feel about Landman. Honestly, myself.
That's
I
it.
mean, I was calling
Okay.
this out in April that Landman was going to be a massive addition. So for me, that's not a surprise.
Okay. You can go Quentin Lake, going from
we
we all know him to now he's getting nationally recognized for honestly his being missed on the defense last few weeks. Fuck man, my guy Xavier Smith. If you pick Kobe Parkinson, I'm gonna go with Q. I'm gonna pick Q. I'm gonna be the homer. I gotta pick my guy Quentin. It's not a surprise to me until a lot of Rams fans. I know you two on the screen of his production, his value on the team.
Yeah.
But to see him elevated one more step and gel that whole secondary, and him being missing in that production and going to bottom 10 in the league immediately, that says a lot about what Quentin does. He's expected a payday. I think he's gonna get paid like a top 10 safety. Much deserved. So I'm taking Quentin with that one.
Yeah, we talked about earlier, like the elevator kind of factor with like Stafford and all that. I mean, that is Quentin Lake. Like you see that what his absence has done to this defense. It's not like we're terrible, but it's like you can see areas where like, oh, so this is what it would be like if we lost Q in the offseason. We don't want to do that because like he is so key to this team in so many ways. I'm between two guys right now. Colby Parkinson's one of them, but I'm going to go with Blake Corum just because last year he didn't get a lot of opportunities. It was just basically the Kyron show, and obviously he broke his arm at the end of the year. But I still think he is one of the definitions of a guy that I watch every week, and I'm like, he's at least a little bit better every single week that I watch Blake Corum. And that's hard to do, especially week after week after week. He's getting more carries, more opportunities. Is he perfect? No. But now you're kind of starting to see why the Rams invested into him. The 1-2 punch, the home run hitting ability. He does like sometimes like bounce things outside too much or, kind of hesitate, not hit the hole right away. That's stuff you can work on. But the place that he's at now compared to where he was last season and how Rams fans view him now compared to last season, I feel like it's night and day. So I'm going to go Blake Corum.
It's a good pick.
Thanks.
No, I wasn't napping Muad'Dib. I had a very important text that I had to answer. God damn it. I listened to everything he said. And yes, I agree. Blake Corum has been a revelation because you think of who would be behind Kyron. Like Kyron would be sitting here at like 300 touches. We're worried about his durability for the postseason and who's behind him. Jarquez Hunter, who may not know all the pass protection schemes down pat yet, or Ronnie Rivers. Like, love Ronnie, but he's just not there yet. So, yeah.
And it keeps Kyron fresh for down the stretch, but even I think it opens him up, Kyron, to longer runs that he wouldn't previously have because he has more of that endurance. He's able to stay fresher. And good snipe there. Even against Seattle, when Kyron had that, like, it was the first Seattle game, he had that 40, 45-yard run. I don't know if Kyron Williams gets that kind of run without Blake Corum, like, taking some of those snaps away. And, I mean, MJD talks about it all the time. It's like, it's the competition thing. Like, you want your guy in the same room of, like, Blake and Kyron. You want your guy to do well, but you also, when you go back out there, you're like, okay, like, I got to at least match this. And I feel like it's just been such a good ad. I would also throw in, like, just an honorable mention for Warren McClendon. Like, him at right tackle, that is a massive breakout player because last year he was good, but I feel like he had a lot of those ugly moments where you're like, he's not ready. And they did play him on the left side at times, which isn't his strength, but he's another guy that I'm like, I feel like just nobody talks about him. And he's doing so well filling in for Big Rob to where, like, sometimes I forget he's in the game. He's playing that well. Like, you're not hearing his name called. He's just doing his job. So
that's exactly it with Warren McClendon, man, is that he's come in and it's not a noticeable issue at right tackle going from Rob Havenstein to Warren McClendon. So that's my biggest thing on the offensive line is when we lose somebody, is it obvious, and it's not when McClendon's the one playing. So it's kind of made me feel better. The aging Rob, who is not necessarily at retirement age or anything like that. I think he's 33, something like that. He's just around my age. For an offensive lineman, that's not insane. So, I mean, he still can play for a good 5-6 if he wants to, but it does at least make me feel like good about the fact that if he does decide to call it, like, hey, at least we're good on our side, that we've got somebody who can come in and we feel okay that he's going to be able to fill that gap. The thing that we would be losing mainly is that leader, just because he's that captain veteran that's been around for a in years. He's played 4,000 football games, so that kind of experience is invaluable to have in the room when you're going through tape and stuff like that. He can be like, oh yeah, in 2013 this happened, all that stuff. Like the experience is crazy, so that's huge. But again, the skill set of Warren McClendon, he's playing absolutely phenomenal ball, and yeah, I'm a big fan of McClendon, man. That's kind of my guy. I like that guy.
Yeah.
Now, all great picks, like always, because we're just so good at this.
Born for this.
NFL breakout player, non-Rams player. I'm going to start because I don't want you guys to steal mine.
Oh.
Give me Javonte Williams, Dallas Cowboys.
That's good.
Very steady. I had to go look at his stat again. Where's he at? He's 6th in the rushing yards category. He's got 1,200 yards, 4.8 yards per carry, 11 touchdowns. That was the surprising one for me, and he's only lost 1 fumble. He's played 16 games this season. Very steady. Very surprising because when I watched them scrimmage against the Rams here in training camp, I was like, dude, they're not going to have any rushing. Like, they look bad.
Yeah.
So to have someone break out, they've been a very good offense. So it's been impressive watching Javonte Williams.
Rams house, I'll let you go. I feel like I feel okay that I'll be still good with my pick, and we won't talk about anything.
I was gonna say, like, I'll just get the obvious one out of the way, like JSN. Just
okay, never mind.
Incredible. Oh no, I thought that was the obvious pick for breakout player. Yeah, I mean, I'll keep it at JSN. It's incredible what he's been able to do this year, especially like a lot of people were questioning what the Seahawks were doing, getting rid of DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett and that whole kind of core. And now you're kind of seeing like, oh, this is why. Like,
That's fair.
Have JSN who's exploded onto the scene. He's been good, and he hasn't had a ton of opportunities. He kind of came onto the scene last year, but we needed to see like, okay, can he do it now for a full season? And he has been able to. So I give it to JSN.
Good call. Yeah, that's where I was going to go. I like his story of him just deciding to be good.
Teaming up on me.
That was hilarious.
What is this?
That's all. What?
Teaming up on me? Were you taking his side now? What are we doing here?
I am going with somebody else. Okay, I had a backup plan. Okay, I'm prepared.
No. Keep yours. That's fine.
No,
it's fine.
No, it's fine, Tuna. I'll go somebody else. Okay. My vote is going to tight end Kyle Pitts from the Atlanta Falcons. Somebody will play against this upcoming Monday. He has 1,000 his rookie season and stuff like that, but it just feels like this year he is kind of starting to really truly wiggle into his own play style. So I'm gonna go Kyle Pitts. Tuna disagrees.
You activated Winter Soldier. I had almost forgotten about it. All right, walk with me here. Walk with me here. The TFL, the Tuna Football League. This is the second year that we've done it. Haven't really marketed it too much. Had a select few people in there. We've got Drew Nakua's in there, Corn Doggy's in there. We had Rampage help us draw the picks, the pick order this year. It's a big deal for us.
Okay.
I was in the Final Four, and I've been running 12 personnel all year because it's a 14-man league. Rosters are sparse. I was playing Tyler Warren at tight end and Kyle Pitts at flex majority of the year.
Wow.
Okay.
I was in my bag with like McVay. Semifinals, overthought it. I took Kyle Pitts out. You know what Kyle Pitts did that week?
What are you doing?
45 points. He decides to have his biggest game of the year when I will never forgive him. I will never forgive Kyle Pitts for what
this is you.
No,
you will forgive you, man.
Because we game planned and he had a shitty week at practice with me and he was talking back. So I had to sit him. So this is his fault. Just because he's a gamer.
I cannot believe the Jeff Fisher energy coming out of you right now. Like, if only we just had a game plan. If only they executed well.
No, I'm pulling a Mike Singletary
energy out of here, man. You need to bring in that Sean McVay energy of like, I need to do a better job, put my guys in position. You benched him. He didn't bench him. You benched him.
I'm not being accountable. I'm pulling a Mike Singletary. Cannot play with him. Cannot win with him.
Classic.
Back to our regular scheduled.
I can't believe how quick you are to just throw somebody else under the bus at your own mistake.
I'm sorry that I cut off your portion. You can maybe I'm your biggest disappointment of the year.
Yeah. Wow. My biggest disappointment is the fact that you can't take accountability.
What is this?
No,
turning into?
that was a meme moment for me where like the guy's just pointing in the mirror like at himself. That was that was me.
Yeah,
Sorry
it's,
to, but
Eric
please finish, Joe.
Eric
Sorry.
Andre back, it's benching Kyle Pitts, and he turns around and he's like, "How could you do this to me, Kyle?"
Of course, it's Kyle Pitts though. Like
Ridiculous.
he's like the definition of that fantasy player that everybody wanted to work out so well, and like every year they're like, "I'll take a flyer on him just in case," like not working out, and then the week that you take him out, it's like 45 points, insane.
I would like to flex, by the way, that I am actually in the championships this week for my fantasy. And about 15 minutes before kickoff, I was like, you know what? I'm going to switch out Colby Parkinson for Krosky Merritt for this week. I feel good about that for my flex spot. And Krosky Merritt punching in 2 tuds, dude. I feel pretty good about it. I still have 47% chance according to ESPN, though, so I'm still behind. But we got this.
Love that for you.
Oh, let's go.
Awesome.
Money.
So happy.
Thank you. Why did you miss the playoffs or something, you loser? Because you benched Kobe.
Losing in your own league is it's painful. We're gonna open up some spot. I'm kicking everyone out of that league because I lost.
Fair.
All right. We got 2 more categories. I want to go most disappointing. We'll start with you, Rams House. So this can be. Let's start with Rams. What's the most disappointing? It could be a player. It could be a narrative. It could be a coach. It could be a game.
I mean, there's a lot of different directions I can take it. I'm just gonna stick with the player side of thing, just to keep it simple, because I feel like you can go to like disappointing moments in the season. Man, it's not even his fault, but like Tutu Atwell, I would put in most disappointing, just where my expectations were at. When I heard the contract he got and him coming back, I was really surprised. But then I thought about it. I was like, oh, I guess this contract means they're paying him based on the way they're going to use him, not based on the past. And that's the way I looked at it. And this year it has been out of his control a lot. And I think the contract is so worth it if that means you're going to beat the Colts the way that we did with at one point, the longest play in the NFL season. But it's just like, man, I want Tutu Atwell to work out so bad for this team, but it's kind of one of those things where it's like, if you love him, let him go. I want him just to be able to go out and have an opportunity somewhere else, just because he hasn't really gotten those opportunities with the Rams. And I think that Between the Horns brought up a really good point a few weeks ago when they talked about bringing in Tutu Atwell or bringing him back on the contract that they did. This was before they had any ideas of going into the 12 and 13 personnel as much as they did. And so they were still thinking in the minds of like, oh, our 11 personnel, you get all the receivers out there. That's where Tutu fits. And this, I mean, they wanted to lean a little bit heavier into it because they got Ferguson and they had a lot of tight ends. But I don't think the Rams expected to shift the offense this much and lean into it this much. And with 13 personnel, you only have 1 wide receiver out there. And so you got to take Devontae off. You got to take Puka off. We've seen Mumfield get a lot of those. But really, it's all out of his control. It's just like, man, where our expectations were, or at least speaking for myself, like, disappointed with the way that things worked with Tutu Atwell, but not necessarily his fault.
I think you're absolutely right. I think that the plan was to use him more than it actually developed into. I think that 13 personnel kind of developed in season, and it was not something that we kind of planned for. In that Tutu just kind of got lost in that shuffle of like, well, this is how we want to run this offense this year. And sorry, dude, you're kind of just on the outside of that. It's kind of what it feels like to me.
I don't know. Yeah, he wouldn't be able to do 13 personnel based on size. Konate is able to be out there because he can run routes like with great accuracy. He got hyped up by Devontae because of that stuff. And he's a willing blocker. Is he perfect? No, he misses a lot, I think, just based on positioning. But he's a willing blocker, and so is everyone else on that list. Mine is special teams, and not just even the kicking, because that's a really easy one to toss up. Just as an entire existence, 1/3 of the game, like, if anything, it speaks to how good the team is that they're playing with one hand tied behind their back, of only having 66% of their game plan really pushing the team forward. No explosives in returns ever. Like, and not the personnel back there of like Jordan Whittington and Ronnie Rivers. Those aren't explosive returners. Punt return never has anything, like, despite the one against the Niners last year and now one against Seattle. But you got a guy that runs pretty much sub 4.4 speed and Xavier Smith, and you love your core guys on special teams, but you can't set up explosive returns like at all. The last 2 seasons, like it bugs me. It's like so boring. Like I hate that I don't even pay attention to any of our returns.
Yeah. It's it's weird because even looking back to last year, do you guys remember the way Jordan Whittington was finishing the year on those kick returns? Like he had 4 to 5 that almost like broke to the house. And he did have one against, who was it? The Texans week 1, I think. He had a crazy return down to like the 20-yard line, and then it was a holding. And I think it was Troy Reader, unfortunately, but it was a holding call. And so that's where I'm kind of confused, kind of going back to what you were saying, at least for our return guys. I think that we have the guys that are right for it. It's just like, are they being put in the right situations? That's kind of where
I don't think so. It's because of the new format. They want guys who can basically run like running back. That's why you see other teams have like running backs back there, because the way the blocking setup is like a scrimmage play. Jordy Whittington's good at it. And this is not to be the Xavier Smith stand, but I think they went away from him too early. I think it should be Whittington and Xavier Smith back there. You've got one that is the control that you like, and you have the X factor back there. That's like, just put some speed. Maybe he doesn't read the holes as well, but you didn't give him time to develop with it. You gave him like 2 games and he ripped them out of there.
I actually think Blake being back there is the better call. I think that Blake being a kick return. I mean, I just think I like him back there. I like him there.
No, they used to do that, right?
Yeah.
Didn't they used to do that?
Yeah. He definitely, I mean, because now we see a lot of Ronnie doing that now, I think. So yeah, I like Blake.
Protecting Blake.
Yeah,
I do. I'll give my most disappointing for it's something that it stays from all the way back in May that this disappointed me, and it never went away, which is our schedule. I think that the NFL really botched our schedule. Personally, I think putting in Philadelphia in the early slot in week 3 was a miss. Those are 2 playoff teams. Obviously, that's a primetime game late season. The schedule entirely for the NFL also kind of sucked because a lot of these primetime games are bummers. And it's like you can go back and look in week 1. The Christmas Day slate looked awesome on paper.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's kind of what the NFL gets for how they try to set up their schedule, is like that they had 3 backup quarterbacks that no one even knows. We have Olodokun and Bosmer playing quarterback on Christmas Day. It's like, way to go, NFL. You really blew it. But the Rams schedule also, I mean, it's like we get the final home game before Christmas was like forever ago. So they're trying to do like Christmas stuff in like the beginning of December at SoFi, which is kind of weird and stuff like that. And then we had this weird little like Seattle, Detroit back to back and crazy action, and then a huge week off and stuff like that. It's like, I don't know, man. I think our schedule was a whole bummer. And even our primetime games, it's like getting divisional games on Thursday is rough. And then like, we get like this one Monday Night Football against Atlanta. It's like, cool, I guess. I mean, it's sweet, very exciting. So I don't know. I'm disappointed and bummed out at the schedule. I think that they kind of missed on ours, especially, but also overall. I just think that this schedule was kind of weak.
Yeah, it would make sense if this is a team that didn't have expectations based on the way that they laid it out, and some of the like, how's this not a primetime thing? But like the Rams were clearly a Super Bowl contender heading into this year. And some of the games like that Eagles matchup, the Lions one, they felt like layups, to where like when we saw it, it wasn't at least in primetime. I was like, that's kind of strange. But
yeah, it was weird.
And
then obviously
wearing black jerseys during the day,
Yeah, that was the weirdest part.
The midnight jerseys, right in the middle of the day, when we have home primetime games against divisional opponents where we could have worn those like in the dark, like whatever. But
anyways, that's a great point, Joe. I'm glad you went big picture. I didn't even think of that one. Let's quickly do NFL ones so we can get to most surprising. I'm just gonna say Baltimore Ravens. They were my Super Bowl pick. I had Rams Ravens start of the year. I'm a Lamar Jackson believer. Derrick Henry is that damn good as well. Defense is a huge letdown. A lot of injuries. They have their own right guard problems like the Seahawks do. They have their own Anthony Bradford. I see clips of him every week just being not like, what are you doing, man? And now you've got hit pieces coming out of some beat writer that hates Lamar Jackson. It's just a mess over there. I feel for Lamar Jackson. I feel for Harbaugh. yeah, just super disappointing. Like I really was excited to see them like sweep the division, and hey, we're worried about a mobile quarterback in the Super Bowl. Like that was my picture perfect like ending, beating a Lamar Jackson type quarterback, but didn't work out that way. I hate it.
Yeah, that's a good pick right there with the Ravens. I'm between a couple of them. I kind of want to go to the Vikings just because of them letting Sam Darnold go and the amount of great players they have around them and the way the year is gone. I kind of want to go there. I'm kind of tossing up between a few of them, but I think I'm going to keep it at the Vikings just because you had the year that they had last year. You bring in a lot of key players in the offseason to make it one of the best rosters in the NFL. But then at the quarterback position, you have that be the big question mark when you had Sam Darnold there. And I understand, like, you draft McCarthy, you want to stick with him. But I don't know, that kind of the whole thing, the way that played out, just is a little disappointing. Just because you see the guy that they have on their roster, you know O'Connell's a good coach. And it's just like the way that it's gone for them this year is like, man, I don't know if it could go more disappointing than this. So that's my pick.
Solid pick. Minnesota, I think that the fact that, having Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold on their roster last year and getting stuck with McCarthy is like, man, that doesn't happen to the Rams. The Rams, I think, do a better job of like being willing to admit a mistake or willing to admit like, no, we don't want to, we don't want to deal with this. So like, I think the Rams would have moved on and just probably kept somebody like Sam Darnold instead. So that's a good pick. I'll say this, my Super Bowl pick, the pick that I had money on for the matchup was Rams and Ravens. So I would agree with that pick as far as the disappointment goes. My pick for the Rams in the NFC Championship game, though, Rams house, you know this from probably the offseason stuff. I was very confident in the fact that we were going to see a Rams Commanders NFC Championship game. I'm going to go with them, dude. They fell apart. I really thought that they were in a good spot. They bringing in some really good veterans and like Von Miller still kept Bobby Wagner, had Austin Eckler and stuff like that. It's like, no, these are really good players, really good team. Their culture's shifting up there. They've done a really good job of that. Bringing in Dan Quinn, stuff like that. I was like, this is going to be a good team. And it just wasn't at all. So I'll say my league-wide disappointment. I'll say Washington.
Isn't it funny how you can kind of go to the Eagles? It's like you can kind of put them in a like just looking at the roster that they have. At all. Yeah, that's true. That's true. The biased view, we're not disappointed, but talk about like a roster that is not being maximized at all for one reason or another. It's like that's just crazy. But we're not Eagles fans, so we're happy.
I can't see that.
I'm struggling with our next one. Most surprising.
Okay.
Surprising. Because this can be good. Like this is the opposite of just disappointing. I'm gonna let you guys go first because I literally am like struggling. I don't know.
So wait, is this supposed to be like a positive?
Yeah, positive. Because we just did disappointing. I don't want to do double negative. Try to end on a positive note. Most surprising, most it could be your comeback type of guy.
Yeah.
On the Rams, I'll just say it. Matthew Stafford.
That's
like I know you put money on him, the $3 for him to win MVP, but I thought they would be a bigger. I thought this would be a ground and pound team this year. I remember preseason I'm talking about it's going to be a lot of just running the hell out of the ball. I thought both Kyron and Corum would have like 1,000 yards, way over it. And Stafford had like 3,500. I did not expect, hey, he's threatening 45 touchdowns this season after 17 games. So that's my Rams surprise.
All right, I'm going to give mine. I'm going to jump in here so that Rams House doesn't steal it. Give me all offseason, all based on last year, coming in through the playoffs, all offseason going into this year. Everybody's talking about this crazy maniac on the defensive side of the football, Jared Verse. But my dude, BY over here, man, he was like, hold on a second. I'm also a quarterback killer. So give me BY, man. All the attention was on versus V8 the whole offseason. I'm like, man, this guy's going to be defensive player of the year. He's doing all this crazy stuff. And BY is sitting there quietly like, no, I can rush the hell out of a pass or two, man. So why don't you go ahead and keep that all quiet? Yeah, versus awesome, versus an absolute maniac. But Byron Young, man, I think that we kind of all forgot that he was also quite the player, man. So give me BY.
That's a good pick. I could go a couple different ways. I kind of just want to go back to the tight ends again. Just how much they've been involved in this offense. I thought that they were keeping all the tight ends on the roster so that they can adapt to any kind of team that they play, whether they play one that it would be more like better or favorable to go into heavy personnel or stick in 11. I didn't think that they lean into it this hard. And I would say I'm most surprised by the way Colby Parkinson's played, because he was a guy for me that I was like at the end of last year, I wouldn't be mad if they cut him, or if they traded this guy away, I wouldn't be disappointed. And obviously he was coming off kind of a bad performance there against the Seahawks, which is frustrating. But you look at what he's done this year, it's like this guy's taken so many steps to where I didn't even think after what we saw last year that it would get to this point. But it's a good surprise. I'll take it.
It's a good answer, actually. Yeah, because I was in that too. I was actually predicting that Colby Parkinson was going to be part of a trade somehow, and that we were going to just move off of him. It's like, because we have all these tight ends, man. Higbee's coming back healthy. It was that kind of situation, but they use them all. And Colby Parkinson, bigger than you expect. Every time I see him standing next to certain people, I'm like, God dang! There's every once in a while, I'm like, man, he's huge. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Just every once in a while, I just remember that he's a massive human being. But yeah, tight ends as a whole is a good pick there for most surprising. Tuna, do you have one for NFL overall?
I do. I gotta, you know what? I'll give you my backup one. Because he couldn't finish out the season.
So you're just gonna steal two of them before we can pick.
No, you guys aren't picking this one. Cam Scatterbo.
Okay.
That was not surprising to me, but I think around the league, it took him by storm for a few weeks before he had that brutal leg injury. He's a former Sac State guy. Go Hornets. I was hoping he'd be very good, and he looked phenomenal, and it surprised a lot of people. I hope he has a long career. I hope he comes back well. My actual surprise one. I'm gonna go Chiefs. I didn't think this level of collapse would happen. I expected a moderately okay year. It's look what happened to the Rams in 22. Dude, going to a Super Bowl takes a lot out of you. No jokes about it, no puns intended. It literally sucks the life out of you going through that. And he did it 3 years in a row. But then this fall off. Chris Jones seems like he's checked out. Travis Kelce he's going to retire. And then Patrick Mahomes injury. And now they're going to leave Kansas City. Dude, this level of tanking all your franchise momentum, it's been the most surprising thing to me this season for the Chiefs.
We said positive, dude. Holy moly.
Oh, shit. I forgot already. Oh.
You just gave us another disappointing.
Yeah, you're right. Oh my God. Most surprising.
That was your backup for the previous ones. Let's go with something positive, dude. Because what the heck, man? Jeez, trying to bring us down over here, man.
All right.
I mean, in fairness, he did say Scatterbo.
That's a good.
My most surprising. I'm gonna give Caleb Williams. He's not been the. Yeah, you can't look at the numbers and be like, oh, hey, he hasn't been good. Based on what they're doing first year, you stack the wins, you do enough to win. He's playing well in the system. He's been progressing with the Ben Johnson system. Very happy for him. I think Caleb has been a surprise. And I know some people aren't because he's a first-round pick, but he looked bad last year, and he looks pretty damn good this year. So I like it.
Good call. Rams House, you got a positive one?
I'll do my best here.
Yeah.
I would say this one's technically not fair just because of the way the season's been ending for them, but I was most surprised by the Colts and how good they were looking with Daniel Jones. And what was it the first 4 weeks of the season they hadn't punted, or before they played us, they punted once or something. And I know that the season has gone off the rails since then, but that definitely proved me wrong. I was Daniel Jones could fit well in this offense as a veteran, whatever. But they were looking one of the best teams in football. So I would definitely pick the Colts there as like most surprising for me.
Joe, you could stack on top of that. There's a most surprising I didn't even think about that to follow up on his. Old man Rivers, man.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's a good call. But I'm just gonna go mine. It's like you're gonna stand there owning a fireworks stand and tell me the Rams are 11-4 and in third place of our division. Are you kidding me right now, man? Come on, man. This division is crazy, man. And pinnacle of iron sharpens iron, man. I wouldn't have it any other way. Let's be honest here. Like, obviously, I would love to be in that number 1 seed at the top of the division here, but I absolutely love that. I think it's cool as hell to see us get to play against these teams 2 times. We got to split with both of those teams that are sitting in that situation. So obviously, it can go either way. We've seen it happen with both of them. I'm sure we get at least one more with you know what? Maybe both of them. I don't think that's impossible that we see both those teams for a third time on our trip to Santa Clara ourselves. So that's what I'll say is my most surprising is just like this division is crazy right now, man. And I mean, to be 11-4 in our situation, feeling like one of the best teams in the entire league, but being third place in our division, crazy. That's crazy, man.
At the 6th seed right now too, right?
Yeah.
Like going from the 1 to the 6th seed is crazy.
We're playing. There's 4 teams fighting for the number 1 seed in the NFC right now. There's 2 games left, man. That's crazy. I love it. And then 3 in 1 division fighting for the number 1 seed with 2 games to play, and the other 2 play each other for Week 18, which I think probably gets slipped into the Sunday night football game, football slot, depending on how this weekend goes, obviously. But man, I love that. I think it's awesome, man, because football in its most basic essence is just entertainment, and I want to be entertained, and it is doing just that. So I'll take it.
Yeah. Entertaining and stressful. It's fun.
Yeah, man. I'm here for this, man. I'm here for it all, though. I'm here for the ups. I'm here for the downs. Like, I'll still be sitting here doing Ram Showcase if we go winless next year. You know what I mean? So I don't care. So, I mean, I'm here for the good and the bad times. It just happens to be sick that we're in some pretty sweet times right now, but also some of our division opponents are too, unfortunately. Everybody can win, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. I'm playing with the whatchamacallit, the outcomes right now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I don't know if there's there's a chance the Rams could win out and still be the 6th or 5th seed.
Yeah.
I don't think 7th seed, though. I think the lowest at this point might be 6th seed. From the limited I've played with it, I'm sure someone's got the numbers for it. But
if Chicago and Seattle both win this weekend, and then San Fran wins the over Seattle the following week, it doesn't matter what we do. We can't get up there. If that's how it plays out, then it doesn't matter what we do. We can win out or go winless. It doesn't matter.
There's variations of like you can be 2nd seed. I think like 1st, 2nd. I think 5th or 6th. I think those are the 4 options.
Because that's winning the division. And if San Fran, wait, hold on. We're just gonna pull it up. Hold on. Before I just go and
it's a mess. It's a fucking mess.
That's the truth. Let's see here.
Because I think you're right about that though.
Because looking at like if you bring up the playoff machine and you like do all the teams, you change one NFC important game, and like 4 teams change on the playoff chart. It's insane right now. There's no way easy to explain it.
Let me see here. Let me pull this up. Okay.
You got a playoff machine? Oh, here we go.
Yeah. So
I've not seen this yet.
It's going too fast. Okay. So this is the current playoff picture right now. Obviously, you see the Rams here down in the West section. 11% chance to get the number 1 seed, 63% chance to get the 5 here. We've got our clinching scenarios. So Rams can lock in worst 5th seed if they win, 49ers lose to the Bears, and the Seahawks lose. So we need both of those things to happen, and then we can at least lock in 5th, but we still have a way to get to the division lead if that happens. And then we can't do worse than 6 if we win. We can't do worse than 6 if the Packers lose. They play on Saturday.
Yeah.
It's Baltimore. That is going to be Malik, by the way. We just, during this stream, it got announced that Jordan Love will not play that game. And then, of course, if we tie and the Packers tie, we also get that. And then 7 we've already got. Elimination scenarios. This is where we're talking division stuff here. So if we lose any more games, we cannot get the 2, which would mean the division. So we can't lose at all and win the division still. So that's first and foremost win out to be able to win the division. In elimination, if we tie and 49ers win, we tie and Seahawks win. So yeah, you study. This will be on the quiz later. So
I'm not good with this stuff. Like I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of things I'm not great with as a the journalist is playoff scenarios. I'm a 1 week at a time guy. Like
I eat this stuff up. I'll be honest.
I don't care until the season's over. Like I kind of take the players' mentality. Like I'll take Stafford's mentality. Where like who we got this week. I'm not looking past that yet. Like you still got to go beat Atlanta. They could go 0-2.
Yeah, but that also doesn't matter. That's my point.
It only matters, I would say, for like I think morale, not in the fan base, but like losing the next 2 games would be like hard to. You got to have some really damn good leadership.
And I'm not saying that like I think that's going to happen or I want that to happen or anything like that. So we don't have to like dive into like, well, what if we lose it? You know, like it doesn't.
Yeah,
I don't see it happening. You know what I mean? Like, because we're one of the best teams in the NFL. But, but still, it's one of those where I mean, we can peak it, you know, at week 18, and it's not going to throw the team off. You know, just because we talk about week 18 potential doesn't mean Stafford's not going to pay attention on Monday night. You know what I mean? So shut up, Taylor.
That's always a funny argument that people have when they're like, you're going to throw off the team. Like, don't overlook the Falcons. It's like, if I overlook them as a fan, that's not going to contribute to what the team does.
Yeah.
You know, it's like as soon as that ball's kicked off, I'm crushing beers anyway. I promise you it doesn't matter what I do.
I still remember one guy in the
I don't wear the right jersey based on how we're playing. Like, it all matters.
Yeah,
like,
seriously.
I don't change my jersey at halftime.
Yeah.
I still remember the one comment that you guys got on one of these. It was after, I think, the Niners lost or something. One of the games we lost. And somebody was like, Joe, I think you overlook teams too much or something, or you don't take them seriously. God. And I was like, even if he did, what would that matter?
Who cares?
Yeah. That was crazy, though.
Yeah, that was really annoying. I think it was somebody that was trolling. I'll be honest. I think it was like, don't overlook this team. It's like, it doesn't matter what I do. Okay, if I only want to talk about February football games from here on out, I can, and it's not going to change anything. All right, it may by the time we get there, it may change the fact of who we're talking about or something. But yeah, it doesn't matter what I do. I'm just a dude in Colorado talking in a room by myself right now with a cat
twinning.
That's
What, we chop liver, bro? You know, we're not. You're not talking to us. All right.
I'm technically, if you could just like, if you were just peeking into my room, I look insane right now. You know,
just talking to
doing Ram Showcase. I talk a lot with my hands, so when I'm doing Ram Showcase, I'm just sitting here, just me. You know,
just 3 dudes in a jar of mustard. Jesus Christ. On that note, we're coming up on hour 2. I feel like we've streamed for a very long time. We've got through all of our topics. Do we want to do final thoughts since we got Rams House here and close up shop? How do we want to close out?
Let's see here. So we're at a spot right now where obviously the regular season is not over, but we are already in the playoffs, and it's the impact of these final 2 games is fairly minimal. So let's just go ahead and go into season wide. Let me just hear from you about what kind of what you're taking away from this year is like, what kind of the vibe of this year is. You know, it seems like every year has its own energy and stuff like that. It's like how 21, obviously that year was like, keep on adding all year long to go all the way. 22 was that weird little one in there. And then you had a couple years ago where the Rams kind of just turn it on out of nowhere. Their only loss was that overtime loss in Baltimore. And that kind of just, you know, that was the story of that, was just like, they just turned it on and went. So what about this year, man? Like, what are we feeling?
I got you. Cause I'm working on a piece that kind of talks about this. So it's top of mind. This team, for better or for worse in some games, is purely on both sides of the ball. What do we need to do to win this week? That is the personality of this team because of the leadership starting from top down. We talk a lot about Stafford, but it starts with him. Because for it's funny because his nickname is what? Stat Padford, from people who don't watch him. He's one of the quarterbacks who legitimately does not give a fuck about stats. He could throw the ball 5 times a game, but if the team's winning, if he's vibing with his boys, he gets to be outside of the house from his 4 kids from 9 to 5. He's happy. Like he's a working stiff dad in the NFL. That is his vibe, and it goes through with the team. Nobody cares about stats, at least projecting wise. Like for contracts, obviously everyone cares, but comparatively to the other teams, like it's literally just okay. We've got Atlanta in front of us. What do we need to do to win? We don't care if it's 13 personnel down the field. We don't care if we're just going to air it out and go for 450, or are we just going to run the damn ball out of 11 personnel? Same on defense. Are we going to play cover 4? Are we going to blitz the hell out of this young guy? What are we going to do? What do we need for this week? It's not a hey, we've got this one game plan and we're going to apply it as a blanket to everyone. It may appear that way because of how good the offense has been, but I think they've been so good that people have overlooked that. It's what do you got to do to win this week? Adjust, adapt. Puka goes out. All right, bring in tight ends. Cool, we're run with that. And they've done really well with it. Same for the secondary. It's been tight. Some people have been really rough on them, but this is what they came in with. They've got 11 wins with the secondary. They've had really, really good weeks because they change up the game plan from week to week. I think that's what I take away from it this season, and it's going to earn Stafford an MVP regardless, and I think it's really impressive.
Heck yeah.
Joe, what about you?
I would say for myself, man, this team feels like the energy of this team this year just feels like even when it doesn't go well, it's like we're still putting ourselves in position to be in a good spot at the end. And sometimes it doesn't always work out. And that's kind of the takeaway that I'm getting from this year is just putting yourself in the spot to just, as long as by the time the game is ending, you're in it still, then you're still looking okay. You know what I mean? Like these aren't playoff games yet. It's okay if you lose them. Like it sucks. Yeah. Obviously we want to win every game, but losing by 1 point to the current NFC number 1 seed on the road in weather, in overtime on a short week could be so much worse. Losing by 1 point in that game is one of those where it's like, I just feel like the energy of this team is like, hey, we're still awesome. Like losing to Carolina. Yeah, that sucked. But all of a sudden turns out Carolina's better than people think they are. So that loss is like, okay, well, yeah, it sucks, but hey, we're still awesome. Lose to Seattle. Hey, we're still awesome. It's cool, man. It's so everything that happens this year, it seems like there's an answer for it. Puka Nacua gets all this media hate and all of a sudden just goes off for 222. Rams lose to Carolina, beat the absolute butt cheeks off the Arizona Cardinals the following week. You know, it seems like this team, anytime anything you want to put them behind the 8 ball, they just hit a sick bank shot and overcome it, man. So that's what I love about this team right now. Going into the playoffs, that's perfect energy to have. If we can win just 6 straight from here on out, man, I feel really, really awesome about it, and I think it's very realistic.
This is going to sound really funny, but based on the comparisons you're making and the way the Rams have played this year, it reminds me of like a beach ball. If you have a beach ball inflated and you're pushing it underwater, you're trying to push it down. If you let it go, it's always coming back up at the surface. It's always going to shoot back up. The harder you push it down, the harder it's going to come back up on the surface and come up to the top. And that's kind of what the Rams team feels like. It's like you can't drown them. And the harder you're pushing, it's just like the end result's going to be the same. They're still going to come out on the top.
Harder there. So I love that.
Yeah, exactly. So it kind of feels like that. But I think my description of this team, and you can say it's about the 21 team for sure, but it's just unselfish. It really feels like no matter it's the offense or defense, it feels like they don't care about the stats that are being put up as long as they're getting wins. That's what matters. I mean, you talk about Jared Verse. Some people are saying like doesn't have as many sacks as actually he may have more than he did last year because last year he only had like 4, I think, at the end of the year. But anyway, people make these comparisons like even with Devontae Adams, you're not getting as many catches as you did or as many yards as you did in the years past. And this team truly feels like they just care about winning. They don't care who goes off. And the tight end group in and of itself is like a perfect example of that. Each one of those tight ends could go off any week, and they don't care if they're the ones like getting all the targets as long as they're doing it. And the Rams just utilize so many different pieces of this team. I would say it's like one of the most utilized depth charts like in the NFL, whether it be their tight ends, whether it be Konate Mumpfield coming in here, even in 13 personnel, whether it be obviously Warren McClendon by necessity, or Josiah Stewart on the defensive side, or even Des Johnson coming in. Like this team is going to utilize everybody that they have. Even in the cornerback room, they rotate corners in and out depending on matchups. And the team has to be unselfish to be able to play that way. this is not supposed to be a shot at Cam Akers, but I don't think Cam Akers would be able to play for a team like this based on the way things kind of ended there. Selfish players just can't work on this kind of team because each week it's going to look different, and each week it's going to take a different group of guys going out there. But by the end of the season, when you look back, it's like, man, we used every single person on this roster that we could have for any kind of situation. And I think that's the cool thing about this team.
I love that. That's a good one. That's a good
one. Aw, we all feel great about this team. Who would have thought? Sorry. No, that was funny because I'm sure if there's like a non-Rams fan tuning in, I was like, were they saying anything bad? It's like,
brother.
This guy stinks.
We'll say a lot bad. I'm going to save that because I have a thought about the secondary that I'll share with you on Monday, Joe. It's in relation to the rest of the league. But yeah, I don't know about how you feel, Joe, but do you feel we covered everything? Do you feel this is a good spot to call it for the day?
I think. Oh, I thought that was the intro. I thought we're
just getting started.
Oh fuck! I gotta go. I gotta go somewhere. I got stuff to do today.
I gotta say, I love it. Joe Stajamas right here. He said, I was like, how long are you guys planning on being live? He said, an hour, which probably means 2 hours. And it's like 2 hours on the dot.
I literally
shout out Joe.
I was like, we said an hour probably means 2.
That's funny. I told people probably at least an hour. I thought maybe hour and a half. But no, I wish we could do more extended shows. But time constraints, like we can always push it maybe an extra 10 minutes going earlier. But you know, with lives 9 to 5s, it's really hard to do. But appreciate all of you guys. Some of you have been here from the opening and been here for 2 hours hanging with us. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys all season long that have like originally started me and Joe just like, hey, let's do a combo show to not be as bored or as boring on camera. And it turned into, hey, we're just going to do this 3 times a week because it's really fun. And everyone seems to like it. So Rams House, thank you for joining us on that fun.
Of course. It was my pleasure. My honor to be able to join.
If you have tuned into our morning shows, you know that we end the shows a certain way. Yeah.
Fade off into the distance.
Yeah, we fade off into the distance, which some people don't like because they're like, it cuts off mid-conversation. That's the point.
I just want to explain real quick because the program that we use, you hit end and then it just it'll just decides how long it gives you until you're actually ending. So most people, if you watch a lot of these live streamed shows that go through this specific platform, they'll be like, hey, thanks for watching, guys. And they all just sit there like this.
I'm guilty of this.
And it's the worst. I hate it. So we'll just let it cut.
If it was me doing that, I'm just gonna go on with my day. Like you're gonna watch me stand up and go to the bathroom. You're gonna watch me. I have no shame.
That's your stomach and stuff. Yeah. But so what is we fade off here?
How confident are you guys with McVayisms?
How what?
I feel okay.
I was gonna say we could do our favorite McVayisms from the year.
Let's do it. Above the neck.
Yeah,
that's a classic. Drinking.
All right, let's do it. Yeah, McVayisms.
No, I'm stressed out.
Mine is always this season. You know, we always look at setbacks to be setups for comebacks. That's been after every loss. That's been his thing. Like it's always an iteration of that.
Being at your best when your best is required.
Stud.
Let's go. Love that one.
We got Rams House. Don't opt out.
I said stud.
Yeah.
That's a classic.
Anytime there's injuries, you know what? I'm gonna get a little bit more information from Reggie and his team. It's always that immediately. He's someone in the comments.
Yeah, he's intentional in everything he does. Oh man. Wait, let's see here. What Mood Deep says. Tells the player, remember the play you had sophomore year? Oh yeah.
Third quarter. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Chris. Chris.
Thank you. Don't buy time, Joe. You're up. Don't buy time. Don't stall.
I'm just sorry. I got it.
Stud was a good one though. I gotta say
that's really
classic. You know you're in McVay's graces if he calls you a stud.
Dude, I'm out. I don't know. My brain's fried right now.
Come on, man. Yeah.
Does anybody else have
we
any more
not,
skipping?
we not me.
That's
You know,
old,
the
man.
enemy has a say. You can't
Yeah.
discount them.